Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Esther and this is Q-Est Fashion Hub. In today's tutorial, I'm going to be teaching you how to make a convertible dress. It's a very simple one. So I'll be using this Ankara print for this project. I have my scissors, my ruler, my tape rule, I have chalk, and I'll be using my sewing machine too. So right here, convertible dress is divided into three parts: the upper part, the waistband, and the pencil skirt. So right here, I'll be using these 3 yards of Ankara print. So what I'm going to do first, I'll cut the skirt, the pencil skirt first. Then right here, I'll fold my fabric. I'm cutting the front parts first, then I'll place it on the back and cut out the back panel. Okay, all right, here I'm working with the skirt length of 23 inches, so, and I'm using waistband of 2 inches, so I'm going to subtract 2 from 23 inches, so I'll be left with 21 inches. So right here I have my starting line here. So I'm just going to go ahead and measure my 21 inches. So for the hemming, I'm going to be adding 1 inch for the hemming allowance. Then for the upper part, I'm going to be adding half an inch to it because I'm going to be joining it to the waistband. So right here, I'll be taking, instead of 21, I'll be taking 22.5, including the seam, the joining allowance, and the hemming allowance. So I'm just going to take my ruler and draw a straight line here, like so. So I used the biggest measurement to fold my fabric. Like, I'm working with the hip of 33 inches. 33 divided by 4 is 8.25. So right here, that was what I used to fold my fabric. So now from the waist to the hip line is 8 inches. So I'm going to add half an inch to it because I'll be joining it to the waistband. So that's 8.5. So I'll chalk 8.5 inches here. And I will also draw a straight line here. So this is my hip line. This is my hem line. This is my hem line. And this is the hip line. This is the waist line here. So I'm going to be imputing all my measurements. Right here, this is the waistline. I'm working with the waist of 24 inches. 24 divided by 4 is 6 inches. So this is 6 inches. I'm adding that to the waist. So I'm adding 1 inch for the dart, and I'm also adding seam allowance of 1 inch. So this is it right here. So I'll come to the waistline and my hip line. Sorry, hip is 33 divided by 4 is 8.25. So this is 8.25 plus 1 inch for seam allowance. That's 9.25. So I'll chalk my 9.25 right here. So whatever I have here, I'll come to the hem line and subtract 1 inch from it. If you really want your skirt to be very pencil, you can subtract 1.5 inch from it, but I'm going to be subtracting just 1 inch from it. So right here I will be marking, I have 9.25, so right here I will be marking 8.25 on the hem line. So I'll come here, so I also mark 8.25. So I'll just take my ruler and connect my lines together. So from the waistline, I'm just going to connect to the hip line, like so. So from the hip, so this is my hem line. So this is me connecting to my hem line. So I just go straight like this. So once I'm done cutting, I will come to my waistline. Remember, the human waist is not straight, so if you want a skirt to sit properly on your waist, I'm going to come down by 1 inch at this waistline, this line. So I'm just going to come down by 1 inch, like so. So I'll connect it to this part here. Hope you can see what I'm doing. So just like this. So this is it. I just connect it like so. So with this, the skirt will sit properly on the waist. So right here, since we already connected it to this part, the measurements might not remain the same, but we'll have to check if it's still the same. Remember, the waist is 24 divided by 4, that's 6 inches, plus 1 inch for that's 7 inches, plus 1 inch for seam allowance, that's 8 inches. So we'll confirm if it's still 8 inches. So right here we have 8 inches and 8.1 inches. So we will have to bring it down, like take it to 8 inches and connect it back to the hip line. The reason is because we slanted the waistline. That's why it automatically increased. So you have to check to confirm your waistline right here. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut out the front pattern. Then I'll place it on my back and cut out the back. The difference between the front and the back is the zipper allowance. So I'll be adding 1 inch for zipper allowance, like this, 1 inch on fold like this for zipper allowance. So right here I'll cut out the front and cut out the back. Right here I already cut out my front and my back piece. So this is the front piece. I placed it on the back and I cut out the back piece. Remember, I said the difference between the front and the back is the zipper allowance. So I left 1 inch zipper allowance for the back. So for the waistband, I already cut out my waistband too, because I don't want this video to be too long. I have to cut it off camera. So this is the waistband. I'm working with the waist of 24 inches. So I added one inch at both sides for zipper allowance. That's 26 altogether. And I also added half an inch for seam allowance, because we are going to be closing this part before fixing our zipper so that it will be neat. So what I have here is 27 inches altogether. Sorry, let me arrange it. So this is 27 inches by 3 inches. Remember, I said the waistband we are using is 2 inches. We are going to be joining half an inch to the skirt and half an inch to the upper part. That's the reason we have 3 inches right here. So moving to the upper part of the clothes, it's going to be a long strip. So right here I already cut it out. And to get this you divide your waist by 2. Okay, let's assume you're working with the waist of 30 inches. 30 divided by 2 is 15 inches. So you add 2 inches to that 15 inches, making it 17 inches. But right here I'm working with a waist of 24 inches. 24 divided by 2 is 12 inches, plus 2 is 14 inches. So this is what I have here. This is 14 inches right here. This is it, 14 inches by, the length is 62 inches. The length is actually optional. You can decide to make your own 17 inches depending on how long you want yours to be, but it varies from 60 upwards. So right here I have 62. So this is my waist divided by 4 plus 2 inches. This is 14 inches. Okay, right here we're going to be moving to the sewing of this dress. The waistband first, we are going to be adding and facing to the waistband. You can use air stay, you can use paper stay, so to give it stability. So I'm going to add interface it to it, to this waistband. Okay, now for the skirt, I'm not going to be adding a lining to this skirt. So what I'm going to do first is to join the side seam, right side facing each other, like this. Hope you can see what I'm doing. Remember I said I left 1 inch. First of all, I will join the darts at the middle. You check the midpoint of this, and the dart to left is 1 inch, sorry. So I'm going to be joining the dart first for the front, back. So after joining the dart, I'll go ahead and hold the seam allowance, join the side, not the back, the side seam allowance. So by the time I'm done, I'll come and show you the next thing I'm going to do. Okay, for the upper part, sorry, I want to join it together so that it will be fast. So for the upper part, that is 14 inches by 62, I'm just going to go ahead and fold it like this. So I'm going to be sewing from here all the way to this part, and I will sew it down to the end. So when I get here, I will leave this part open because I'm going to be turning it inside out. So I will do that to both pieces, and I'll come back and show you the next thing I'm going to do. Right here, I've gone ahead to hold my side seam. This is it, both side, and the darts too. I've gone ahead to hold the darts. This is the front dart and the back dart, and also the upper part. I've gone ahead to sew it and iron it properly. This is it for both sides. The waistband, I've also ironed interfacing on the waistband. So I went ahead to notch the midpoint of the waistband for the lining and the main fabric. This is it. So the next thing I'm going to do is that I will lay it down like this. This is the fabric and this is the lining. So I'll grab the upper part of the cloth, long strip. I'll grab it this way, the upper part. So I'll place it this way. Hope you can see what I'm doing. The midpoint where I notch, I'll place it, making sure that the seam allowance where I join is facing the side. So I'll grab the second one like this, and I'll also do the same thing. At this point, you can be creative about it. You can decide to overlap it like this, but I'm not going to be overlapping. I will just make sure that it's close to each other like this. So I'll grab the lining. This is the lining. I'll make sure the midpoint too is here. I will align the midpoint like this to this side. So I'll take it to my sewing machine, and I'm going to run a straight stitch on it. So by the time I'm done, I'll come back and show you the next thing I'm going to do. I've gone ahead to join it like I explained. This is it. I also close the side, stitch the side. So I'm just going to go ahead and flip it inside out like this, so that we can see the outcome of what we just did. So this is it. So this is it. This is the upper part. So right here, I'm just going to grab my skirt, at least the waist of my skirt. So I'm going to be joining it together. So I'm just going to be joining the waist like this. Now we'll join the waist. If you have a serger or an overlocking machine, you can overlock it. I'm going to join the waist and overlock all the parts. So after that, I'll come back and show you the next thing I'm going to do. So I've gone ahead to join it to the upper part. So this is it. See, this is how it's going. This is how it's looking. Sorry. So right here, this is it. I've joined it to the upper part. This is it. So right here, I also went ahead to overlock the edges because we are not using lining for this cloth. It has to be neat. So the next thing is I'm going to be hemming the bottom of the skirt by half an inch, fold half an inch, and I'll fold another half an inch inward, and I will stitch it down. Then I fix my zipper to it, so I'll come back and show us the final look of the skirt. I've gone ahead to attach the zipper, and I've aimed the bottom of the skirt. That's it. Turn around. So this is the zipper at the back. You can see that the waistline is sitting properly. That's the slit at the back. So I'm going to be showing you how to tie this clothes. So first of all, you can decide to tie it at the shoulder. That's the first way, and leave it so it can fall down like this, to be like this. So another way of styling it is you can bring one of the strap to the left, one to the left like this, and the second to this side, and you also tie it at the shoulder. That's another way of styling it too. This is another way of styling it. You cross it at the back, move it to the front like this, and you knot it and create a bowl at the front. That's another way. We have different way of styling it. That's why it is called a convertible dress. So guys, if this tutorial has been helpful to you, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell so you get notified whenever I upload new video. My name is Esther, and this is Q-Est Fashion Up. Don't stop learning, keep learning. Bye bye.